Hey, how y'all doing? This is the Will and DeShaun Show, and I am DeShaun.
And I am Will for obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons, right? I mean, who else would you
I
be? I
mean,
got the DeShaun. You must be the Will.
I'm, sometimes they get confused. They might.
That's why we got to say it every
I'm
time.
the
The drill in
darker
y'all
one.
head.
He's the brown skin one. We're both
Hmm.
black, but I'm just a shade darker.
A shade.
Maybe a shade or two.
I mean, it's about a shade. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, really, yeah.
Our black comes in all colors,
All
okay?
colors.
Beautiful. But anyway, so today we're going to talk about something that Denzel Washington said to Michael B. Jones.
Michael B. Jordan.
Him.
Who is Michael B. Jones?
That guy, the one from Sinners and the Marvel movie, Michael B. Jordan, who's amazing. I'm just joking.
Who's a great actor, yes.
Right, but he basically told him to avoid overexposure because he said, "Why would they pay to see you on a weekend if they can see you all week for free?" And I just thought that was great advice.
He had a point.
Right,
However, we know that Denzel does come from the
old school.
old school fame where you didn't really know anything about them but their movies, right? And you
Right.
assumed stuff about them from when you maybe have heard or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do get it from that sense. But also your fan base now wants you to be more relatable. They kind of want to know more about you.
Right. But I feel like Michael B. Jordan is still kind of in the
He is.
background.
He's still mysterious. We still only assume about Michael B. Jordan's real life
Right.
and
It's a
not
lot
really
of
know.
assumptions.
Yeah.
I say leave them guessing,
You know what? Absolutely.
leave them guessing.
Absolutely. Like my work is my work, but you don't have to know me for real, for real. You know, Will Smith had that same problem before he got on Instagram and social media. He said that because, of course, Will Smith comes from that old school as well. And once he started, he said he had like he took a year of like seeing how social media works and stuff like
I
that.
think he liked it.
And he liked it, and he got on there. And he was very much well received.
Right.
I mean, he still wasn't like giving him like his full life, but you still got a glimpse into like who is Will Smith.
Right. I think with a personality like Will Smith, he's almost built for social media. So it's like we all know him as the Fresh Prince, and we all have this, perceived notion about him. So it's like we were kind of waiting on him to get on social media, like, oh, it's Will Smith.
Right.
So
it's like Fresh Prince but grown.
Right, exactly. And then he kind of being his goofy self too. So
Yeah.
it was just fun. Yeah, he's a fun person to watch on social media.
Do you think Michael B. Jordan real life is interesting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Why you say that?
I just feel like he's busy doing stuff. It may not be interesting in a salacious way, but I think it's interesting in his day to day. Like he's probably doing different movie projects and doing this and traveling.
I mean, that's clearly when he's doing that because he's an actor.
So,
he's a A-list actor at this point.
Right.
And we know that he's like that guy, and I'm sure he's like taking meetings, reading scripts, and stuff like that.
Right.
But what is Michael B. Jordan like outside of work?
I don't know.
That's what I was talking about interesting. Because he could be very much introverted. People might think he's like boring. Is he a gamer? Does he like to cook?
Right. Stuff like that.
Stuff like that. So we are interested, but like you said, the mystique is also great as well.
As
far as his career goes.
Right. I'll say this. I don't know if it's because I'm old school too, so I was around before social media, but I can kind of appreciate when different people are more private. I think I just think
Like
it's stuff we
Beyonce?
don't need to know. Yeah. Like I don't care about your personal life at all, to be completely honest. I just like you for your work. And I'm really good at separating, especially when it comes to celebrities, work from personal. Like, I don't need to know who you are. I don't need to know what you do day to day. That's how I feel. Even though, of course, I'm on social media too. But I don't know. I never really think about what's so and so doing personally. But that's just me.
You know, I'm of the 50-50 of it, right? I want to know about you. However, I also like not knowing about you too. I know that sounds contradictory, but like a person like Rihanna. Rihanna's also fun on social media, but we still don't know like Rihanna. Beyonce is extremely private, so we definitely like guessing about Beyonce and like Janet and those kind of people who have like that strong privacy, which probably what I would have if I was actually famous. But a person like Rihanna comes off very relatable. You're like, okay, she shows us her family. She kind of shows us her business a little bit. She still have guidelines to hers. You know what I'm saying? It's still like you get what she give you. You probably don't get it all.
I think that's everybody in this world, to a certain extent. Even myself, like in my day to day, I'm not an open book, so you
Right.
just gonna kind of get what I give you. But even with that being said, you could Rihanna may seem relatable,
Hmm.
like in social
Right.
media, but these could be completely different people behind the
Oh,
scenes. So
absolutely.
that's why she got a cute little personality and I like that.
Exactly.
That's how
Right.
it
That's what I'm
should be, in my
saying. That
opinion.
part.
Like yeah, I enjoy her little this and
Because
that.
you know what's so funny, and you be thinking about that. I'm glad we're having this conversation
Right.
because I was just talking to another friend of mine about celebrities and their time, right?
Hmm.
And if we found out how they really were, we would not like them. Like when I could just remember, like when Kelly Price was on, what's that?
R&B divas.
RB Divas
Yeah.
LA. That made a lot of people stop liking her because we saw how she really like. We saw a version of herself that we never knew, and we didn't. It did not. It was not received well.
But they say you should never meet your favorite celebrity,
Yeah.
or you should never meet your heroes.
And you know who another artist that's like that?
Who?
Anita Baker.
Yeah, I always hear stuff about how she
Anita
had.
Baker has a bad reputation. Like she is horrible.
But what if y'all just caught these people on the wrong day?
She had a lot of wrong days.
Yeah.
She had a lot of bad days. That's
She
all I'm gonna
just,
say.
she was going through,
We can give you one, right? Because at the end of the day, if we ever got famous and somebody came up to us, be like, "Oh, can I get a picture with you?" and we really need to get to where we need to get to, and unfortunately, we don't want to let that person down, but they get let down. That's different.
And
But
then they're
when
gonna
you
be on
look
TikTok talking about. I saw Will and DeShaun. They was
exactly,
so
they were so mean.
stank.
I saw them out in a restaurant
Who
and
they
they didn't
think
even
they
speak to me. They didn't want to take a
is?
picture with me. Baby, I'm eating.
Oh, I can't stand them. I
Like
can't
Whitney Houston
stand
said, I am eating. Okay.
Whitney Houston's hilarious.
She's so funny.
You know what?
Oh, I
I
wish she
think
was still here.
is that reality TV show on, I'm gonna go and
It's on
binge watch
YouTube.
that.
It's on YouTube.
Ooh,
Being
I
Bobby
can't
Brown.
wait. Yes, being Bobby Brown.
It's on YouTube. Or Being the Browns or something like that. But it's on YouTube.
Bobby!
It's hilarious.
I'm gonna go
Wasn't
watch
a good
that.
light for Whitney Houston, either one of them really. But
Either way, it was a light.
it was
It told
was
a
a
lie.
light.
Yeah.
Again, seeing somebody's life that we should not see.
Exactly. So
Not like that.
I think if I was anyone's PR person, well, I can't say that because the world is just different now. Now they want you to put stuff out on social
Right.
media and leak this and leak that and
Yeah.
do this and do that, and want you to.
It's
be with
all
this
about
person.
being
Image is important,
relatable,
right?
and
Image is important.
being that your fans can have like access to you.
Right. And I would even relate it to like anyone in a leadership position. Even just with politics, just with like the mayor,
Mhm.
it's almost like they have to do certain things because as soon as they don't do something that enough people don't agree with, it's gonna be, oh my God, why is he here? Why he ain't doing this? Why he out
True.
there? Why he like so it's
But you also can get trapped in your fame.
yeah.
Like you can't like Beyonce, who's super big. She can't go anywhere. Like she goes kind of places.
Does she want to
now.
go anywhere?
I mean, you are still a regular person,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to always be bombarded by a million people and cause all this pandemonium. And you do kind of want like a semi-regular life because at the end of the day, your job is what made you famous, and that's it. Just like we go to our jobs and we come back home and we are our regular selves. We're not putting on our work personas, you know.
Right.
So, and you want to be able to just like relax and do certain things.
Mhm.
Go to a restaurant and not be harassed by a million people.
She can just buy the restaurant out.
Right. Again, but sometimes you still want that human interaction when you are in a restaurant with other people.
Right.
You don't
right.
always want to have to like be like I said, everything you do, you really have to like buy it out and there's nobody there but you. That's still kind of like
I mean
lonely.
It can be lonely, but that's the price that she pays.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like even like a person like Micheal B. Jordan and all these people, they get trapped in their fame so much that if any little thing happens, it comes like a scandal.
Right. Like
you have to be on your P's and Q's always.
You're always performing all the time.
You never get to let your head out. You never can be your real self because like you said, you're always super guarded because you got all these people that's always surrounded about you. You got these people be around you so much they like the furniture, right?
Right.
And they are getting every single thing you say. So let you be behind the scene, have a bad day, and be angry that day. They be like, oh, that person's a bitch.
Now, do you think? I think overexposure can kind of calm that down a little bit, though, in my opinion, because I feel like just from working in restaurants, there would be celebrities who would come in often. Mm-hmm. And eventually, we just kind of treated them like
exactly.
Yeah, so because we kept seeing them all the time. I mean,
exactly.
I used to
I think that helps more,
right?
Because now you're common.
Right. I used to work at this place, and Andre 3000 would come in often to the point where it wasn't like,
oh my God, it's Andre
right. Of
3000.
course, when he first came in, he was like, but
Right.
eventually he was a regular. He was just a
Exactly.
regular guy.
Exactly. And I think that's what needs to happen a little bit more instead of secluding yourself. Because like you said, now every time somebody see you is gonna be pandemonium versus like, oh, that's just Will and DeShaun.
Right, exactly.
Like, oh, somebody gonna be so excited, but they're like, oh, look at Will and DeShaun. They're so, ooh, they're relatable. They're just like us.
Right. I mean, I guess you
They're
gotta
just
care
rich.
about stuff like that because social media is a beast.
And we have security.
Right. I don't need security.
Okay.
You think you need security?
Yes.
Not us already planning for security, okay?
Absolutely.
That is hilarious.
The fame I want costs security, okay?
You think so? Could you really handle that type of fame? Do you really want that type of fame?
To be honest, I want like a mid-tier kind of fame where I'm still be able to do stuff, but not be like kind of like crazy. Because I think also, I'm not saying that Rihanna don't have a bodyguard, but she often is out by herself.
But you don't know that.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Again, from the photos, people like Kelly Rowland and stuff like that, they be going to the grocery store, they'll be having like a security guard with them.
Interesting.
Not saying that they're not waiting in the car or somewhere nearby, but
I don't know. I just want a good life. And I always said with that good life, if that comes with some limelight, that's okay.
So you would want to be like a kind of like mid-tier celebrity.
I don't really think about the celebrity title at all.
What I mean by that is that you still able to do things and go places and people like, oh, can I get a picture? Or hey, follow me on whatever social media, or can you follow me back or whatever like that? Versus like, oh my God, it's DeShaun and Will.
It's hard to say. Because I do want success, and because I am in fields that have limelight attached to them, I know that a lot of success comes with, being seen.
Right.
So like it's just kind of hard to say.
Like at the end of the day, we're posting this to our social medias, right? And if you really look at it, I know sometimes we get so caught up, not just us in particular, but people in general get so caught up in likes and viewerships that you really think about that. If you had 100 people to look at your video, right, and people are like, oh, that number is low because I'm used to getting thousands and tens of thousands. But just think about it. If you're just in your house right now, we're currently in my home right now. If 100 people was in here, it will be crowded.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to really think about it and look at it in that way. Because sometimes we feel like these numbers, like, oh, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting those views. But just think about 100 people saw you. So that means 100 people in the world knows what Will and DeShaun look like. So what if we run into, let's just say, 50 of those 100 people out in the wild?
Do you think those people are really going to stop and try to talk to you?
Yeah. They might be like, aren't you the guys from Will?
Because I see people all the time on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, but that don't mean I remember who they are.
You might not, but I would. Like I've seen people that I follow on social media, especially if they're popular. I'll say like, hey, you're such and such. Nice to meet you. I enjoy your content.
Right. I mean,
I'm not like super fanning out over them. Like if I would have seen like Rihanna or somebody or Will Smith.
I would appreciate being appreciated. I mean, we're putting art in the world, and of course, you want it to be appreciated. Like I'm not gonna say nothing against that.
That's what I'm saying. So if somebody see us out and be like, oh, aren't you them guys Will and DeShaun?
I do value my personal time a lot. I do value my alone time from just going to the store to just being in the car to just, I like to go to the movies by myself sometimes. Like I like to go shopping. I really value alone time.
Is it because you're around people all the time?
I think that kind of played into it. Just being in the service industry for so long. But even when I was a child, I would be alone. Like I just like to be alone.
Same. And it's so funny that we're not only children. Right. And we both have like siblings, but we still value our alone time and the space to ourselves. And it gets kind of, I'll say for me personally, I can speak. I do value my alone time, my quiet time a lot. However, some days I'll be like, I want to be around people.
I mean, on those days like that, you can just call somebody. You can call me.
Yeah, true.
I mean, because we all need people now. We're human beings, so people do need people. But when it comes to that, I guess that tipping point where I guess celebrities get where they can no longer go out.
Exactly.
No longer do the day-to-day things
when you have
kind of value.
Like when you people like stalking you and knowing where your address is and all that stuff. Like, remember that lady was in Chris Brown's house?
That's just crazy.
Like stuff like that. That's crazy. I cannot imagine coming home
I
to my
mean,
house.
you become a target. Like
Yes.
it's just
And that's what I said. That's like
what it
having
is.
that set of pain. Like, would you just want to be mid tier with people not trying to like?
And that's why I always say I just want to be successful and happy. Successful and happy.
Right.
Because you don't want to be super famous and hate yourself.
Right.
And you don't want to feel like.
And a lot of them are lonely.
Yeah, you don't want to be lonely. And when I think about loneliness, though, I feel like I could just be with the people around me.
No, I've heard a lot of celebrities say that, of course, because they're around people all the time,
Right.
and then when they go back to the hotel, it's like, oh wow, I'm feeling lonely.
Right. I mean, that's what you have, like a spouse, kids, but everybody got their own situation. So I get that some of them are lonely.
We don't have spouse or children.
Right.
We don't have a spouse or children.
True.
So,
but I just want success and happiness.
Same.
In the best way possible.
Same.
That's what I want.
Absolutely. Like we talked about before on another podcast, we definitely want the success of our art, right?
Yeah.
And we want the accolades and the money, the things that come with it.
Right.
However, they say I'm not willing to sacrifice my sanity for it.
You don't want to get to what you thought success was and hate your life. That's
right.
my thing.
To is your life is no longer yours.
Like
and I feel like when these celebrities like Beyonce and them and all these bigger celebrities like Denzel and Micheal B. Jordan, their life is no longer theirs.
But I don't want to speak
in a sense
like they don't like what they do and they don't like their life. They may love their life.
No. Oh, trust me, they won't trade it for mine for sure, right? Trust me, especially not the income bracket. For
somebody
sure.
like you may love your life too.
But I do. Don't get me wrong. I do love my life. Can it be higher? Can it be greater? Absolutely. Do I want to go up some notches in the financial department? Absolutely.
There's always
I think that's actually my main thing.
Yeah.
I think it's more so the money, because when people talk about some money that'll make you happy, they'll lie. They just had enough money to make them happy.
It definitely helps.
Hello, because money brings access
exactly.
to things that you cannot get.
I don't think it's the key to happiness, but
now that is true. Now that I do agree with you. However,
right, exactly,
it can get you some happiness.
Right. So I think it's all about balance.
Yeah,
it's all about balance, and balance is different for everybody.
I'll
say that.
You know, the funny thing is that you talk about balance. That's how I actually try to live my life as balanced as possible. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes I know that I am a person that can get consumed with things. Like if I'm doing whatever, it's consumed. If it's work, I'm very much consumed with work. If it's this podcast, I'm gonna be consumed with the podcast. If it's working out, I'm gonna be consumed with working out. Like, or whatever. It's helping my friends, I'm gonna be consumed with that. Mm-hmm. Too, I don't know how to balance myself enough to I'm like stressed out, not sleeping, stuff like that.
Structure.
Very that. Mm-hmm. It's like I always use the analogy of what they say on a plane. You have to put your mask on first before you can put on somebody else's. Mm-hmm. And I really took that for myself. It's like you can't help everybody if you're not helping yourself.
Absolutely.
You got to help yourself first.
Yeah, absolutely. And even with helping yourself, you got to prioritize what's important in your own
exactly.
life.
Because sometimes, again, we're prioritizing all these things that's beneficial in a way, but you kind of like lose yourself.
Right. Yeah. I know that all too well. It's like you're trying to do so much until you kind of forget what you were originally trying to do. If that makes sense. Yeah. It's like
it gets so consumed that something's getting left out.
Yeah.
Like you said, and the original thing didn't even get done.
Yeah, exactly. What you was supposed to do in the first place
didn't happen.
I woke up and I was supposed to go to my grandma's house, but everything got in the way.
I got so caught up with cleaning and then doing laundry. I had to run some errands, and I went to the gym and with something to get something.
And now it's 10 o'clock at night.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
And when he made it to grandma's house, poor little Red Riding Hood.
What? Where's this going?
Little Red Riding Hood. She was going to grandma's house.
Oh, that's before my time.
No, it wasn't. It's everybody's children's story. Don't try it.
Oh, gosh. But other than that, the overexposure versus the underexposure. Also, I want to throw in this last thing. When you first start marketing your music, script, art, you got to overexpose. You got to be like, boom, 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 post. I don't like posting like that. See, had I like posting like that, maybe we already be successful. But yeah,
something we're working on.
Sometimes you do need to overexpose, let people know who you are.
Because you kind of like, it's kind of like almost like hypnotizing somebody, right?
Just like when you're running for office. Yeah. You see them political campaigns everywhere.
Everywhere.
They call your phone. Day. You don't know how they got your number. They text you, emailing
there's a study. We're about to do some research on that and that type of marketing.
Yeah. Ooh, that take money though. That's why they get all those donors.
Of course.
Mhm.
Again, money makes you happy.
I
Money
can't.
brings access to things.
It does. I ain't gonna even lie. But other than that, well, do you have anything else you have to say about overexposure, underexposure, Micheal B. Jordan, Denzel Washington, the B or the Re or the C?
Live your life,
I know that's
and
right.
what works for you. And when you are, if you are of that A-list status, and I do get it, right, because you are the product. Basically, it's like Denzel basically telling you, you're giving the drugs out for free.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Why would they want to buy it when they didn't have it? And that goes into so many ways. Even people with your bodies, as the old folks say, why buy the cow if we giving the milk away for free?
Interesting.
That's the same thing.
Interesting.
And on that note, y'all let us know in the comments.
Mm.
Do you want to be
A little puzzle.
overexposed or
Who
underexposed?
want to be overexposed?
A lot of people do.
Oh.
That's how you get famous in this day and age. Did we just talk
Oh, you
about
can
it?
say Hakta. Yeah.
Goodbye.